Which one of you is Samuel?
Lemuel.
What?
My name is Lemuel. It's in the Bible.
The Jew part or the Catholic part?
Boy, you need to get up out of here. We're trying to have a civilized conversation.
Do you know who I am?
Do you?
What?
You say what a lot.
What?
Now, I am considered a new Fargo fan because I've only watched 2 seasons of Fargo, and from what I know, each season is its own story. It's not this is one collective overarching story like many series are. So I was a bit confused when I read reviews that were upset about why this show, or why this season seems so different than the last seasons. I'm really confused. We at Altiori are probably one of the only people who absolutely love this season so far. It's crazy, it's out there, it's weird. It feels like Fargo to me. Maybe I have no right to talk, but the little bit that I have seen of Fargo, those 2 seasons that I watched, the first season with the guy Watson and the guy from Avengers, the blonde hair guy, never know his name, little squirrely character. And Fargo season 2, I don't know, but season 4 seems right up the alley. It has the same type of oddity and tension surrounding the atmosphere of the show that I've seen with the other seasons, so I don't really understand what people are saying. Now, what I will agree with is Chris Rock being miscast. Now, while I do like Chris Rock trying out something new, I don't necessarily have a problem with him. He's not the best gangster that I've seen. I don't think he was perfect for this role as a gangster or a gangster leader. I think Forrest Whitaker in Godfather of Harlem did a much better job with that. And I think the other guys that play gangster leaders, even though we've only seen very short bursts of them, like the Irish mobster, the gangster lord of the Irish mob, as well as the Italian one, even the Jewish one, I think they did a better job with their little roles than Chris Rock is doing with his. I get that they're trying to make him seem more nice, but that doesn't make sense. He doesn't command power. Denzel Washington in The Equalizer, that's a dude that you're like, damn, I'm scared of him.
Liars, and so am I. See what happens when you deal with a liar? Huh? You see what happens when you deal with a liar? I lied to your little punk ass. Now I'm gonna kill you. What do you see when you look at me? Tell me. You better give me a right answer to what you see when you look at me. Killer, what you see, yummy?
Chalky from Boardwalk Empire. Omar Little from The Wire. The reason why I'm using black men is because these people would have been a better cast for that role than Chris Rock, because they have played roles like that before in other mob gangster movies and killed it. But do I hate Chris Rock in this role? No, I don't. He's just not as commanding and believable as a mobster as these other guys are. Now, granted, at the time I am leaving this sort of review, it's not really even a review, it's just me talking about it, just giving you guys my thoughts on it. I've only watched 2 episodes because there are only 2 episodes out so far for season 4. Maybe some of the people leaving these reviews have watched the entire thing, but if they're only judging it off of the 2 episodes, I understand why they probably wouldn't like it, and everybody has their own thing, and I may end up disliking it later on, but so far there's not one episode of Fargo I've not liked, of any of the seasons. And I'm glad I was told earlier on that this is the kind of show that doesn't follow through in other seasons. They're just different stories. I think that they're kind of in the same universe, sort of, like in different time periods. Maybe they're gonna pull an American Horror Story, or maybe not. It really doesn't matter. It's not like you need to have watched the first season to get what's going on in the 4th. But so far, I am really, really happy. At first, I was a little bit like, why are people upset that Chris Rock is playing something outside of a comedian or a funny role? What, you want him as your little entertainer? You want him to jump and make you laugh? I get that some people are typecasted for that, but I respect him for at least trying. There are other people who have been comedians that tried to play roles like this and they bombed at it, and I don't think Chris Rock is bombing. I love the nurse. I like the Italians, of course. So far, I like all the characters. The only one I don't like is the Italian father. The tension building in this show, holy crap, they really do a good job with this. In first and second season of Fargo, they did such a good job with tension building, it makes me annoyed. And I get that here too. You get weird characters in the other seasons, get that here too. You get people from Minnesota, you get that here too. I know this is a novelty to me and to some people, this may be just common knowledge to you, but I love how people from Minnesota and North Dakota sound like Canadians. They have this kind of slight Scottish twang about the way they talk. It's adorable. I love listening to them speak. Some people had a problem with the Jewish guy and his black wife. Not that they had a problem with them, but they said, what was the purpose of that family? I think it's to showcase, like, even at that time when 2 people could be together, his daughter still had to walk through the back. Like, can you imagine being a certain skin color, your wife or your husband is black, and your child is a part of both of you? They're not just one ethnicity, they're both. But because a child is darker, because of course darker colors, or when you have darker melanin, that's more of a dominant trait, children are going to be darker. Because of that, they're just black, and they have to go through the back door. They have to use a separate bathroom to you, because everyone else around them, the entire society, deems them them as less than human. Can you imagine what that must be like? So that's something that I've not really seen a lot of other shows set around this time do. So it's refreshing to see that, and it's really sweet seeing the relationship between the daughter and her father. You can see that they're a lot more alike than the daughter is to her mom. Of course, the father is also so gentle that the mother wears the pants in the family. You can tell that she loves and respects her husband, but she's the staunch disciplinarian. The father kind of spoils his daughter a little bit. It was kind of cute when he's like, "You want a bedtime story?" And I'm like, that's odd. Like, it's an odd thing to ask, but honestly, it's kind of cute. I know the only people that read me a bedtime story is Mr. Creeps and Creeps McPasta and etc. What I also find really interesting is the fact that there is some kind of Slender Man looking thing. After this, I was like, what the frick is going on in this show? I was so creeped out when I saw this, and then the nurse is there talking to herself, and I just want to see where it goes from here. She puts poison in the pie, obviously, to try and hurt the little girl, but it says, when I looked it up, it actually makes you vomit, induces vomiting if you've been poisoned, but there are some other substances she's putting in with that. Maybe she's doing it to make her really sick or something, so that the family will know that she's a nurse and be like, oh, you can come take care of her. Maybe it will be a Sixth Sense situation where she'll just take care of the girl, but she's actually not taking care of her. She's killing her really slowly or keeping her sick, so someone can depend on her, since she just got fired or severed from her job. Seriously, I'm watching this woman on screen and she reminds me of the Joker. Like, if there was a female version of the Joker, this chick would be it. I also want to see what happens with the kids of the gangsters, because you've seen what's happened every time they traded the kids, which is something else I've never seen before. Usually you'll have kids marrying into each other's families, but I've never seen them trade their boy children. Like, that's a really risky thing to do. But there's so many elements about this that I absolutely do like. Is it the best show ever? Best season of a show ever? No, of course not. But I enjoyed it. I want to see more. I felt like it was too short, and I've already watched 2 of the episodes back to back, and they were each 50 minutes long. So I say give it a go, especially if you like Scorsese stuff. This is nowhere on par to Scorsese, but it kind of sort of feels like that, with a mixture of the elements of Fargo. I don't know what other people are talking about. It still feels like Fargo to me, but to each his own. What did you guys think about this season of Fargo so far? If you guys have watched the entire season, where are you watching the entire season? Because there's only 2 episodes out so far. Let us know, because we want to know. Share with us. And if you don't like it, why don't you like it? What are the elements about this one that are so different from the other seasons? Again, I haven't seen season 3. I've only seen season 1 and 2. Let us know in the comments, and thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.